Welcome back to the Morning Brief. You know, Albert Einstein said, creativity is seeing what everyone sees, but thinking what others do not think. And that pretty much describes the life and journey of our next guest, Helen Paul. Helen Paul, academic, actor, comedian, MC. Welcome to the program. It's so good to see you again, Helen.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.
What happened to your baby voice?
Baby voice is there.
The young shall grow, Abi.
Well, the baby voice is there because the one that gave me gives without repentance.
Okay.
So it's still there. So I use it whenever I'm making money.
Okay, I was actually hoping you were going to respond to me with the baby voice.
Really?
But we'll
You're not
get
paying
there.
me for that.
We'll get there.
Yes.
So from Tatafo to baby voice to Don Jazzy, Alaja Don Jazzy,
Chief Kuleniyo,
Chukwuka,
the general merchandise.
You know, that's why I call you the relentless creative.
Thank you.
But we'll talk about, you know, those different aspects to your life. A lot of people have heard your journey, your starting point. But I want you to walk us through your journey, how you got here.
Everything is online now. What aspects?
Well, you know you have...
Is it the larger than you? Because you mentioned different characters.
Okay.
So which of the characters?
Not the characters now. We'll talk about the characters. Your personal story.
The Helen Paul.
Yeah, the Helen Paul story.
Helen Paul is a girl born, brought up in Fadi Yaba, Lagos. Public primary school, public secondary school. And we'll call it public university, but federal. When it gets to university level, you change the name to. When the punishment is getting higher, you brand the name of punishment. So that's basically it. Worked as a receptionist when Buki Koka, as we know you, used to know you. You're still Buki Koka Showe Memoria. So you started newscasting like 18 or 17 years.
We're talking about you, not me.
Excuse me, is that not why we are here?
We're talking about you, not me.
You were like 17, 18 years.
Wow.
Buki will wear half suits. I was like, hello. The School of Journalism, and receptionist was like, this girl is speaking. So as a receptionist, I went to her and I was like, Buki, please come and teach me the way you speak.
Wow.
And Buki was like, it's simple. I like I'm not saying you should just.
She still does that, by the way.
Yo, when Buki became my teacher, higher, pen to paper. So,
I've looked for trouble this morning.
So I said, what aspect? You did not mention, so I will start from our own aspect.
I said your personal journey.
17 years old, you intimidated, you
don't have to let
English.
everybody know that we go way back now. I talked about your personal story. Not your own personal story.
I asked what department. She didn't answer. But the truth is, but you taught me. You know, as a receptionist, where people would think, oh, she's just a receptionist, she's just a young girl. I like things and I go for it. So I'm like, please teach. And Buki created time teaching me. Then I imitate Buki in times of stretches, the stretching of words. Imitated Shola Kosoko in times of tone, voice tone. Imitated Dotwan Rifalo in times of modulation.
Right.
So I'm someone that once I like something, I go for it. I don't need to come too close, but I'm very observant. And I follow the scriptures that says, write the vision, make it plain, that men may see and run with. I didn't know I was going to go into any presentation at one point, but I like it, I admire it, and I'm going for it. I come and I want to learn, and I will learn. The fact that we're set, I didn't let that get into me, not even just for her, for everybody. So that has brought me to a point where people just feel that I got it. I just got the opportunities. No, I go. If you need to learn, come down and learn, you know. Then it got to a point, the same friend, Buki Koka, called and said, why is it that everybody likes you? Likes you. I said, because you don't call people auntie and boda. I call people auntie and boda. I said, but they are not your auntie. but is that real? I said, it's not necessarily real, but that's what they want. People want you to grease their ego. So I grease it so I can also get what I want. And in your foundation, you must understand what works for you. Sit down, get a pen and paper. What works for me? What is working for Buki? What is working for this person? So I grew up as a child that was rejected, and I want to be accepted. So what do I need to do? So my foundation has really helped me today. Now, the speed you are going is high. What next? So when you get to that point, then you ask, Holy Spirit, I need direction. Then God speaks to you. Cool down. You don't necessarily have to do skits. You don't necessarily have to run. You don't necessarily have to. The scripture comes to you. I speak Yoruba a lot, though I'm from Edo State. Is the mercy and the grace of God that helps you become successful without any sweat. So I take it easy. I'm not following the crowd. Why? Because of my foundation. So how you start your journey really matters. So where are you coming from? Where are you going to? Where do you need to take a break? And that's where I am today. So
we're going to be oscillating between your many parts because you're multifaceted. So we're going to be oscillating between your many parts. And one of the places of interest, I'm sure to young people, we described you as an actor, a comedian, an academic. And none of this is easy. It's quite challenging to carry all of this. So we want to look at your prioritization. How were you able to prioritize such that you're able to accomplish all of this, and now you have a PhD and all of that? Because we want young people to learn from you.
I already mentioned something. When you see something you like, go for it, but don't forget the process of learning. I have mentors that are not into entertainment, but they're into academics. I like the way you speak, sir. I like the way you carry yourself, ma. Ma, what is the meaning of doctor? And you say you are not a medical doctor. Ah, Helen, it's a PhD. What is a PhD, mommy? They tell you about it. How can I be like you? I like the way people honor you. Oh, it's simple. Your field is what you should go after. So sometimes you need a mentor who can open up, not a metilator that you admire. Sorry for
what does that even mean?
Oh, my tired you to prepare. Most people have a metilator as a mentor.
Oh, gosh. Are we going to survive this sex?
No, you will. What I mean is truthfulness. The people that you're learning from really matter. I asked it. I liked the person. But there was a time she told me, you, this girl, you are too talented. Instead of you looking this way, come back and face this way. I was like, Mommy, I don't want to be known as a comedian. She said, but that's what God has given to you. When we put you on stage for tragic scenes, you will turn it into comedy. When we say cry like a widow, when your time comes and you are crying, everybody will be laughing. You know? I'm like, oh really? He said, yes, you can pursue that path. In person of Professor Osita Ezenwanibe, I want to say a big thank you to you, and Professor Felix Morowa. They made me follow that path, even from my undergraduate. Then Dr. Otsu Rashid, now University of Kentucky, Louisville, he looked at me and said, what is this topic you are writing? I wanted to write on feminism. He said, that's not your strength, Helen. Your strength is comedy. Why not learn comedy? Styles of comedy, techniques of comedy, history of comedy, and become an authority in that field. Then you have your PhD in that. I'm like, how? I said, come, you're doing theater art. And this man picked me up every Sunday, would teach me history of comedy from Greek period to the Roman period to the medieval period. So I got interested. Now the three of them on only one girl. Why? Because I went and I was ready to submit to learn. Then in times of being a comedian, you have people who would say, this girl, you are funny, let's give you an opportunity. They are seeing what you are not seeing. And the first time, second time you tried, something is working. At that point, drop all your ego and your bags. Learn. The same thing to a Bukky Showemimo, Shola Kosoko. You have a baby voice. This thing can work. I remember Bukky saying, this is a gift, Helen. Oh, Mokotoni, you have a gift. I'm like, really? Then I think we were 17 or 18. I'm like, really?
No, we were about 20 at the time.
At 20, yeah?
So
I knew you were very small. You know?
Shots fired.
And the next...
Or early 20s.
Early 20s.
We're in our early 20s.
Bukky, we started at 18, 19. I'm older than you. So, opportunities will come. And I remember a big one that came. As a receptionist on my table, earning 9,500. A company came, they already employed Bukky. They already employed somebody else. And they said, we need a child. The child that was to come was writing exams or something. Then Bukky said, Helen can imitate this voice. Shola Kosoko said, yes, try her. Ayadefe, don't worry, let's get her. Helen, can you imitate the voice? I said, why not? You buy me minerals. And they said, why? Well, we'll buy you minerals, just come in. So I went in and I took the script. Mommy, what are you saying? What did you... So as I was doing that...
he's back.
As I was doing that, the man was like, oh, you got a baby. I said, no, let her finish. She will come out from the booth now, because the booth was dark. So I was just, the light was on my script. I was like, so I read, Mommy, I want picnic. If it's not picnic, I will not take it. You know? So I did. Coming out, I was given a paper to sign. I didn't look at it. I just looked at how you did fail and I said, just sign it. Then they gave me a check. I think it was 350 or 450. I can't remember.
Naira?
My brother. I started good. So at that point, when you say you are looking for another dream to be a lawyer or something,
It was 1,000 Naira.
400 and something thousand was our money.
And that was at that time?
I'm talking about that time.
Wow.
Do you understand? So, I will always tell people, I have the gift of men. I didn't just start. So who are the people that you are around? Who are the people God has placed around you?
And it's quite instructive. You don't just have the gift of men, you have the gift of acknowledging those men. You've mentioned at least 6, 7 names.
If I'm saying my story, I cannot say my story without mentioning people. Not just those people,
right.
chains.
You should maybe write we'll talk about your book. You should write a book, just names of those people and what they did in your life. Because I think it tells a story to people that you don't know. Oh, there you go. After a while, you might get cramped, so you need to drop.
No, we'll be doing it together.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it tells people that you don't know who that person will become tomorrow. That person that you're probably looking down on, the receptionist, the cleaner. So you need to actually pay attention to people and do what you can to help them. Now, my question is not about your past, because I know you have a very rich past, and as you said, it's online. So let's talk about your now and your future. You've done radio, you've done acting, you've done comedy, academics now, and Bukola still sees you as that relentless creative. So what is the future for Helen Paul? What more do you want to really achieve in this life? Let me just put it that way.
The plans of God. I cast my cares, knowing that his plans is of good and not of evil, to bring me to an expected end. It's good to write your vision, but sometimes you still cast your cares. That's okay. I want to be flexible. What next do you want me to do? So I'm in that position of what next? I like what this person is doing, but if the spirit is saying no, then it's no. I don't know if you understand. So I'm that kind of person.
So are you in that place now?
I'm spontaneous.
Right, you're thinking, what more can I do? I've done a lot.
I have never thought of what more. I am just there. It will happen. The one who behind me is a spontaneous person, so I'm ready. The same spirit I went to carried me into marriage. Shiva da Femi, sure you like me? You like me? Oh yeah.
Let's zoom.
Oh, yeah,
let's run things.
Let's run things. But we disrespect you. And if, of course, somebody was fighting the wife, and no, my wife at least should behave like you. I said, your wife cannot behave like me because you are not giving your wife the chance to behave like me. I said, why? I said, can you tell your wife to do something and she tells you, I am not interested in doing it, and you will let her be? Without doing, I am the head of the house. So what my husband is allowing me to do, can you also do it to your spouse? You admire something that you cannot even do. So I am free. And I'm like my husband will say, she's a sports girl. They're like, sweetheart, why do you allow me? He said, when a woman is in love, she has tendency to be sports. It's just a child who you take out. If the child gets to the party, don't leave here, yes. But once you turn, sees other kids playing, before you know, you will join the kids. But when it's time for you to go, I said, well, Junior, I'm going. The child runs and pick up without you having to force the child and say, let's go home. So it's the same thing with our lives. Understand what works for you and do what works for you. For me, I am very spontaneous. I am always saying something in Yoruba, maybe because I grew up with my great-grandmother. So I don't think like every other person. What's this again today? I need something to work.
We've seen your colleagues go into politics. Is that in the direction for you someday?
Sincerely, I have not thought of that yet. Because the position I would like to maintain in politics, they might not want to give me.
Which is?
The president himself.
Which president? Who am I? I don't like high position. It's just like you trying to make me head girl of your school. I like food prefect. I can't just eat. I'll be fine. But they didn't make me the head prefect. You know? So you can't make me head prefect. Just let me be. Be at peace, I'm at peace. Live and let's live. That's my life. So if I'm going to be a politician, I might probably be, maybe, let's think of it, agriculture. A place they won't really look at you.
Where you can have peace, right?
You know, I like INEC. And that's why I admire Lepasho's bossing. She's a lawyer in INEC. And she's a comedian. But what you are doing, you can't be a local government chairman and still want to be a comedian. They will say they will be stressing you, you are not working, you are not in your office when they see you in parties.
But the comedian is the president of Ukraine.
You see what is happening in Ukraine now?
Okay, there you go.
You see what is happening in Ukraine?
Well,
so when the president takes things, we are fighting this other Russia country, they will take it as a joke till the fight will happen. So I don't like that kind of thing.
All right, Helen, you know, I started out by listing out many of the things that you are, you know, but there's a number of things that I didn't add to that. You've even done a single some time back in the past. So you're a singer as well. You owned a school before you jackpot.
I didn't jackpot.
You're going to tell us about jackpot.
No, I didn't jackpot. Do you know the definition of the word jackpot?
So you're a provost. If your school is still running, you're a provost, you're an academic, and you just recently wrote a book, and you're lecturing in the United States. You keep evolving, and that's a huge lesson, you know, that we must learn from creatives like you. Tell us how you keep evolving, you keep, you know, turning, bringing different sides to yourself, you know, and how we can glean from that.
Well, I am not one that would want to give a packaging answer. I like to give a sincere answer. I will still go back to the circle of the chains of people that I have. So you have someone like the former Vice Chancellor, University of Lagos, Professor Duroimi, calling you to say, so Helen, what's happening? Have you done any publishing in 4 months? No, sir. How? Why? What was happening to you? I'm sending you 4 seminars where you should at least I have somebody who wants to write on art. Join the person, you guys who, I think he has written something, you add up yours. Let's publish. So before you know, you are seeing Helen as a published book. So like, what time does she have? They will not allow you rest. Yeah? Just like your mom, like my mom, of course you know Mama. I said, Mommy, Helen. You know, she said, Mommy, are you not happy that the GD first? My mother even will say, Salawa Beniti Shea. Like, why are you comparing me with other people? You know, so people that make you feel like you have not even gotten to the place
summit,
you are
yes.
dancing. You know, so when you have people like that, it's different from when you have people that say, you have done it, you are there, in fact, you are complete, so you rest. I have people who make me feel like, so there's another space here.
Right.
Do you mean you relocated? You are who is relocating? This school needs you. Can they call Public Administration of Nigeria? They need you. So like, how? They need you. They need a freelance public admin person. So I've submitted your name. Go for the interview. Find your way. Sir, I'm in America. Let's see what we can do. Is the ticket not selling? They are ready to push you. Buy tickets. Professor Uche of the Chartered Institute of Public Administration will tell you there's an exam and I need you in school to lecture for 1 month straight.
You know,
and they bring me back to Nigeria.
One lesson that we have learned from you today is that you have fantastic people around you.
We all have fantastic
encouraging
people. We all have fantastic people, but we do not know how to manage them.
And let me just say that your book, Legacy of Debt, is out. It's a story, right? It's like a novel.
It's a novel
of sorts.
Yes,
so it's quite different
it's
from
on Amazon.
Fantastic. So Legacy of Debt. And just to put it on record, you said you've not jackpot.
I have not jackpot.
Because you said Nigeria is a great nation, but how would we be great when our greats are jackpot?
No, they didn't jackpot. It was some leaders that said not too young to run. When I heard that, I was scared, so I ran.
We got to run now. Speaking of running, we really must run now. Helen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You didn't know the time I've
Dr.
gone this
Helen
much.
Paul, academic, actor, singer, writer. The list is endless. We look forward to having you again on the program. When next you come back to Nigeria?
Thank you.
That's our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Bukola Koka.
Absolutely. So tomorrow is another edition of the program. Thank you for your time and company. I'm Jeffrey Uzama.
We hope we've been able to inspire you to acquire and aspire to be Maguire, whatever that thing is. But Helen Paul's story is very inspiring. So hey, take a cue from that. I'm Kyle. Goodbye.